burn like fire in the dark. Fenway roars loud, breaking the spark. Green monster rising, shadows tall. Home of the dreams where legends fall. Red Sox Digest. Feel the heat, feel the flame. Red Sox Digest. Chasing glory, chasing fame. Red Sox Digest. This is the heartbeat of the game. Echoes of the past run through the ground. Ted and yells, their spirits resound. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd. Boston's blood.
Welcome in here to Red Sox Digest Live. Jace Andrews joined by Houston Kellman. Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Been a little MIA for the past 2 weeks, but back this week on our Tuesday weekly streams. Really excited to talk about what's been going on during spring training. Really excited to kind of break down really just the start of it. I think there's a lot of things we can kind of understand from just the few games we've seen to this point. One of those is that Connor Griffin might be the best prospect this year. Like he might win a Rookie of the Year, and I don't know if it'll be that close. But yeah, Houston, how you doing? Welcome back to the show, I guess. And how are we feeling thus far? What, I guess 2 weeks into spring training, but 3 games officially in now, 4 games.
It's good to have it back, to say the absolute least. I'm waiting for WBC because it'll feel a little bit more real once that gets here, but it's good to have baseball on. It was a long off season, so.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just glad that I can turn on MLB.com and know that there's a game going on. I'm going on Twitter. I can see highlights and it's just a nice feeling. MLB The Show is about to come out. Like it's.
Yes.
I'm very excited for everything baseball related. But in terms of what we've seen from the Red Sox thus far, I think there's been some surprises. I think there's been some good and bad surprises to that kind of tone. But I also think there's some things that we can kind of take from the comments of Alex Cora, the way that things have gone out. But I think the biggest story, at least I want to start off with, is Marcelo Meyer. I think there's a lot of discourse going on about him. There are comments from Cora saying, oh, well, we're not guaranteeing he's starting the year on the opening day roster, which to me, I said this on the show that I did for Brad, I think it's more of a fire-up method of I'm going to say this because I want a fire under his ass. Like I want him to understand that this is like he's a fun, playful guy. He lights up the clubhouse, but I want him to kind of have a little bit more than just, oh, I'm here. I know I'm going to be here. Like I want him to be like, okay, I'm fighting for a position.
Yeah, I love everything you said. I agree with you because if you look at how the Red Sox have really finished this offseason, you have the comments from Cora about Meyer, and there was a lot of speculation through the offseason. Are we going to see him get the opening day job? Is he going to be at least in the position to do so? And then you see Durbin brought in, and then you see IKF brought in, and then we get the unfortunate injury updates on Romy. So you have some idea that there's going to be some argument to be made that there has to be positions to be filled. And obviously with these new guys being brought in that are particularly playing in the infield, where Meyer's obviously trying to play as well, it's just a lot of competition, it feels like. And also those comments with Cora going hand in hand with that, there's going to be a spark there. And if the call is not answered from any of these guys, and I'm not just speaking about Marcelo specifically here, even though I would love to see him be the guy to answer the phone because I'm big on Marcelo Meyer and I want to see him do well in this Red Sox organization as early as the opening day. But like all of these guys have to go out there during the spring and during these times when you're working out with your team, whether it's in game scenarios or not and just in practice, you have to be able to go out there and produce to a high enough level where you do prove your worth and you do prove your value to this Red Sox organization. And I think especially for this young guy in Marcelo, it's perfect. If he's just like caked walked all the way to the finish line, which would in this case be opening day, and it's like, hey, you're the starter. This is how it's going to work out. There's no competition. Like, odds are you're not going to get the same level of product, at least early on, from him than you would have whether or not he was out there competing every single day trying to prove that that should be his job.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you look back to spring training last year, and honestly, I think he had the best spring training of the quote-unquote big three. I mean, Roman was playing here and there. I think we all expected him to get the starting job. It wasn't him. And then you go back to Christian Campbell and say, okay, well, he had a horrendous spring, yet he made the opening day roster. And people are going to say their opinions. I personally think it's strictly because, well, he was willing to sign the contract extension. Like, I think that's a big reason as to why he got the call as opposed to other people. So that to me is something to look at. But for Marcelo, the IKF signing, of course, intrigues me even more after the trade for Caleb Durbin. I think there is a lot of speculation as to second and third base and what exactly is the plan, because if I am Alex Cora, I am putting Marcelo Meyer at third and putting Caleb Durbin at second. Really? That's just the way I see it. I want Marcelo, to me, is a shortstop, and I think he's a better defender than Caleb Durbin. I'd rather have Story and Marcelo on my left side of the infield rather than, I understand the point of, well, shortstop's more closely related to second base than anything else, and I get that, but I just think that the better positioning for him is to put him at third. It makes the most sense to me just to have him on that side with Story right now rather than moving him over there in 2 years when Story is done. Plus, it allows for Story when he's off to have a prominent shortstop in Marcelo Meyer to go out and play there. And then you can move Durbin to third, and then you can have IKF or Romy, whatever happens in that time slot, play second base. Whereas if Story's that way, yes, you can move Marcelo to shortstop, but then I think that there's a little bit of a divide between the defense in that aspect rather than having Marcelo playing third base all time. But so given the way you spoke that, though, you would rather have Durbin at third and Marcelo at short or at second.
I'm totally okay with either way. The only reason it kind of came off that way is because up to this point in the spring, we've really only seen Durbin in these game situations. We haven't seen Meyer yet, unfortunately. I'm still waiting. But Durbin at third has made a few plays that make me feel comfortable at third base, at least defensively. Now, I know the bat isn't anything to ride home about, and it's going to be good. It's not going to be great, at least over the overall predictions going into this season. But I believe it was either the first or second spring training game. It was just a few days ago where the ball was hit down the third base line. Durbin was playing third, and it actually went off of the bag. And despite Durbin being 4 feet tall, he was able to make a play on that, and it looked clean. He was able to gather himself. And then again today, the ball against the Pirates, they're currently getting destroyed by but ball hit down the third, first and second, 1 out. Durbin fields it, tags third, goes to first. It's a double play to get out of the inning. He just looks very comfortable at third base, and up to this point, we haven't seen Meyer. Again, you know how I feel about Marcelo. If he's playing third, I'm okay with it. I'm totally fine with it, actually. If he's playing second, as long as he's able to not just step into it. It's like, hey, by the way, I know you haven't taken reps at second in a game situation in 2 months, but or however long it's been, or again, whatever it may be, you're playing second. He's very capable at either position, including shortstop, if you want to add that, but it's obviously out of the question. But as long as they're both on the field, I think the Red Sox are going to be good defensively, and that is something you've heard us talk about ad nauseum on this channel because we were losing our mind last year when it came to the defensive side of the ball for the Boston Red Sox. So I think if they're both on the diamond together playing in the infield, it'll be an improvement from last year. And I think Durbin up to this point has shown a good glove at the bare minimum at third base.
Yeah, that's fair. By the way, I know that the stream is kind of doing a little weird thing with my face right now. I'm trying to get it to fix, but OBS is just frozen for me right now. So that's just a great thing. I pressed studio mode and all of a sudden it's having a panic attack, but it'll get back in a second. But speaking of Durbin, I'll put the stats up for him when I get control of my OBS. But how have you kind of felt so far with him? The trade, obviously, him being, I'm not going to say the big move, but the move that we were, quote unquote, being told was the move we were waiting for. So overall, I'm content with it. I do like Andrew Monasterio a lot, so I think there's a lot to go with that. But we were kind of talking about before, but how is your thoughts on Durbin going so far?
Again, defensively, it goes without saying, he's been very good defensively, in my opinion. He's been good. I won't say very good. He's been good defensively. Offensively, it's a lot of what you expected. He doesn't strike out much at all. He is able to work counts, which I absolutely love. It's something that we saw benefit this Red Sox team a lot last year, whether it was just working walks and be able to work around the bases by stealing those bags, or just, again, being able to hit with guys on first and moving them into scoring position. Now, scoring them is a different conversation, but I really do like the idea of being able to work counts, not striking out, not whiffing, because that is something that really bit 6 of the 9 guys in the starting lineup last year. Like outside of Roman, who was 20 years old, 21, we all know the story. We know what we watched last year. Hope it's even better this year. But outside of Roman and Bregman and maybe one or two others, the strikeout numbers were really bad. It went right along with the defense. Both of those categories for the Red Sox last year were abysmal, to say the absolute least. And it's hard to win big games in October when that is taking place. And when you strike out a lot and you can't work those counts, it's a problem. I think Durbin is a good fix to that. And obviously, when you try to compare him to the idea that, hey, he's going to be filling Alex Bregman's shoes, it's an impossible task. And I don't like saying this, but I feel like it's the most appropriate way to look at it. But you can't try to make that comparison. You can't try to put Durbin in that position, at least this early. Let him go out there, let him play his game to the best of his abilities. And if he's able to produce and he's able to give us a decent batting average, not looking for a whole lot of pop from Durbin, it's going to come from throughout this lineup with Contreras and Roman and all the other great names that are on this lineup and in this team. But if they can just rely on him to be a consistent average guy, and I mean that in the sense of batting average, not just being average, but if he can hit for a decent average and hit around that 260 mark or just even a tick better, this is going to look really good for Boston as a right-handed hitter and his abilities and what his tendencies are, at least.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but the biggest thing that I've seen from Caleb Durbin, or not that I've seen from him, but the biggest thing I like is the fact that he can play for 6 more years for us. Like, he's not going to be going away anytime soon. And so, if he pans out in the way that people can kind of expect him or see him, then that allows for us to keep that kind of stranglehold on the third base position. That, to me, is the biggest thing that he brings. I understand that there is a lot of prowess to him, but when the trade happened, I wasn't exactly happy. And, I get more and more now the happiness surrounding Durbin with the Rookie of the Year being third last year in the NL, even though we all know that in last year's Rookie of the Year vote, it was the AL, and then the NL just picked a guy because they could. Don't get me wrong, Drake Baldwin was great. Happy for him, but it was if Nick Kurtz and Roman Anthony could have won the MVP Rookie of the Year, they would have. So that's how it would have gone. Unfortunately, it didn't go that way. So I think that there's a lot of respect going around for Caleb Durbin. I like what he brings to the team. I just, more or less, the biggest thing to me is that it's hard for me because I'm going to judge him based on what the Red Sox said. And in the Red Sox, they said they want a power bat. They said they want this. They said they want to increase the offense. So I'm looking at Caleb Durbin. I'm like, okay, well, you were what was supposed to be a power bat. You're not, but I'm going to judge you like it, unfortunately, because that was what I was told. So it's no knock on Caleb Durbin. And I think that there was a lot of comments, I'm not going to lie, on the Durbin video that I did where I was talking about it. I was like, I don't necessarily like this. And it was a lot of, well, you don't know he did this and that. I'm like, I get it. But at the same time, it's more about what the Red Sox promised rather than what Durbin brings.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. Like, you're not the only one sitting in that position, sitting in that idea of, feeling that way about Durbin. Bat, is it going to result in a lot of doubles compared to as many home runs as if bat? Is it going to result in a lot of doubles compared to as many home runs as if he was in a different park than Fenway? Probably, obviously, but it's hard to look at Durbin and really just be all smiles about things. I'm just trying to look at it in the sense of what boxes does he actually check, and is he a better option than what was here and what wasn't here, in the sense that Bregman was gone. Like, all the options felt like they were entirely off the table at that point when Durbin was brought in, because just a little while ago, it wasn't like this happened 6 months ago in the early stages of the offseason. This was after Bregman was gone, after obviously other options that weren't particularly third baseman were gone, and they had to make a move, and they went out and got someone who they believe is going to help them defensively, which we know, like mentioned earlier, needed to be corrected, absolutely. And then cutting down on the striking out is also something he's going to check, those two boxes in defense and not whiffing as much and being able to work counts, and I think that's going to be a positive. It's hard to go away from what you said and the idea that he's not going to produce that pop at the plate, and that's unfortunate. But if he can just be a good average hitter in the sense of getting us that 270, that 265, 280 number at the batting average, things will be relatively comfortable. I think the conversation will be, at least.
Yeah, it really just depends the first week. Like, if he comes out and he's batting in the 7th or 8th hole and he's doing good things, getting a hit every game, getting a hit every other game, making sure that he plays good defense at the third base position if that's where he ends up, then I think the discussion and the discourse will immediately go down. But the problem is, and it's the best and worst thing about baseball, in my opinion, it's a 162-game season. And as Tristan Casas said, you need all 162. And I agree with that. But to that, as soon as the season's over, it causes for a lot of talking because we don't talk during the season. It's just the games going on. We talk about the games. We break down that, and there's a game every day. So if you stink, you look at the next game, and you get to try again. Whereas as soon as the season's over, we have gone from getting a baseball game every single day where we're judging you on what's most recent, and you get a new opportunity every day, to you have a whole 3-month all season where we aren't going to see much of you for a good majority of that until February. We aren't going to be able to understand what you're doing to improve yourself until we actually get eyes on you. So that's why spring training to me is more important than people want to make it out to be. And I think that Duran already looks, I would say, better than he did with the Brewers. I think there's a lot of positives to his game that he can bring in. And there was a 2-month span where he batted above 300. So if you look at the positives of where he was at certain times last year, you can see why the Red Sox wanted this guy and why this was, quote unquote, they got their guy. But at the same time, it's, again, you were looking for a power bat. And to go from your only offensive addition that matters is Caleb Duran, maybe Andrew Monasterio, to thinking about Pete Alonso, to thinking about Alex Bregman, to thinking about different things. Now, Wilson Contreras, I understand that's an addition. I'm putting him at a different table because he was traded for. We had to give up prospects and guys that I like. I liked Richard Fitz and Hunter Dobbins. Now, would they have fit in this year's team? Probably not. I don't see where they would work out. Even in the bullpen role, Conley and Tolley are going to be the two guys that we look for over Fitz and Dobbins every time. But that, to me, is the biggest thing with Caleb Duran. But to put that to perspective, I talked about Andrew Monasterio. He's actually been one of my favorite guys to watch thus far in spring training. I really do like what we've seen from him, and he was an underrated part of that trade. Last year, a 270 average in 68 games played. Can play third base, so again, it just goes back to the question for me of what in the world were we doing when we signed IKF? That signing to me just continues to make less and less and less sense.
Yeah, I don't know. We've talked about it a few times. We talked about it a little bit before we actually started the show, and IKF is interesting because we know what he's going to bring, but it's a lot of exactly what the Red Sox already have. Yeah. He's not specifically a third baseman. He's not specifically a shortstop. He plays a lot of second base. Can he play other spots in the infield? Absolutely. Well, there's three other guys we've already talked about in the first 20 minutes of the show that all check that box. And when it comes down to it, yes, he's another right-handed bat. So is Duran. Yes, Meyer's a lefty. But it's just I'm with you. Like, is he going to be an everyday guy? Probably not. I would assume not. Like, with the other options that, yeah, right? Like, to be blunt, yeah, I'm with you. I hope he is not an everyday starter for this Red Sox team with Duran and Meyer and other guys that are going to be available, Monasterio for that matter. Like, there's going to be an ample amount of opportunity for everyone to play because it is a 162-game season, like you mentioned. But there's so many good options for the Red Sox, like bearing like substantial injuries, to 2 or 3 or to multiple players. What's the idea here for IKF? What is the actual hope, or is he going to end up like in a Yoshida situation where?
Yeah, we need another one of those.
Yeah, like Yoshida's supposed to play in the outfield. Well, Yoshida doesn't have a left shoulder, so he can't throw the ball. And yeah, he hits decently. He likes to hit the ball to right field in the corner and get ground rule doubles like it's a single. But what are we going to do? Where's he going to play? What's the opportunity? Oh, he'll get an opportunity. What, behind the first 4 guys that round out those positions? Or same thing with Yoshida. Where's he going to play? Left field. When? Well, when Roman's DHing and Willier has a break and
when all these scenarios have to happen.
Yeah, like this team gets in the playoff. If 4 teams lose, this team wins and the other team ties.
Exactly.
They're in a difficult spot. They have a lot of depth, which is never a problem. I will always applaud the idea of having depth because it's good to have it at any point in the season, game 1 or game 162. But like, it's hard to get your name called on game 85 and be like, hey, you're starting at third today. First time this year. Like
Congratulations.
yeah, you made the 80th day roster.
Yeah, I'm more and more baffled by the situations of Masataka Yoshida and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. I will say, give us a pat on the back. I think it was before we talked, but literally the last stream we had, we were going through second baseman. We were like, well, there's Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and Brendan Rodgers. And promptly the Red Sox signed both. So
literally got them both.
We were like, who the hell are they going to sign? They're not going to sign these guys. Maybe they will. These are the two that I could see. Boom, signed them.
Literally like the only two left.
Craig Breslow, he watches Red Sox Digest, and you should too. So hit that subscribe button. But yeah, I really don't know. I have more hope in Brendan Rodgers than I can. I could list 25 players that I have more hope in than Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and we're paying him $6 million? Like, I don't get what the point is, besides the only thing that is holding me from basically saying Craig Breslow just wasted money on this when they're trying to freaking money dump with Rafael Devers is the fact that Romy is hurt. If Romy is not hurt right now, I literally don't see IKF playing a single game. Because Romy is hurt, I understood where if Brendan Rodgers does not make the opening day roster, which all likelihood, unless he performs well, probably going to be a minor league. Hopefully he can go through waivers. We can pick him back up and be a guy down there. Former third overall pick. So there's some hope that maybe he performs well and he does get a spot. But they're going to go with the guy they paid $6 million over the guy they just signed on a whim in some ways. So I don't really know the point of that, but in all likelihood, speaking of these guys, speaking of kind of what you just said about the where in the world Masataka Yoshida is ever going to play, when in the world is Isaiah Kiner-Falefa going to play, we went through our lineups a little bit ago, and I think that now that we have a couple of games on our belt, I think both of ours have changed a little bit. So we're going to play Alex Cora real quick, and I'll let you go first.
Like what, 2 days before Durbin was brought in or something?
Literally 2 days. I had Nico Horner in my lineup because I was like so sure. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna trade for him, guys. We haven't made any big moves, but Horner, that's our guy. We're just waiting for that. No, we didn't do that. So, kind of intriguing thought here. I want just to go back. We'll do it quickly this time. We're gonna go one by one. But we're playing Alex Cora. What's your lineup versus righties and versus lefties? We'll start with righties, I guess.
Versus righties is going to look a lot like last year, with obviously new additions of Wilson Contreras and others. But Roman is going to be my one. Like, I know I got a lot of
Marcelo?
flack for it. I want to say Marcelo, but I haven't seen him pick up a bat yet. Like, let's get him in the game here, guys. But no, it would be Roman one. And I want to go righty left. No, I don't, because it's righties. See, I would like to say Bregman, but I can't say Bregman. So I'm going to say...
I would love to say Bregman.
Yeah. I'm going to say Roman Story. That's going to stay consistent there. And then I'll throw Duran in the 3, especially if he looks the way he has through this part of spring. Wilson at 4. 5 would be... Who would I put in the 5? I guess Willier. Would Willier be hitting in the 5? Then I have Rafaela, Durbin. Willier, Durbin. Maybe switch those two if needed, depending on the matchup. Because I'm thinking righty-lefty. I love the idea of being able to alternate, but then again, you're facing a righty on the mound. So Contreras, Willier, Durbin. And then you round it out with whoever is at second base, I guess, unless Durbin's at second, then whoever is playing third, because I would love to say Marcelo. You know how I feel about him. But I don't know if he's going to be the opening day guy. I don't know if that's what it's going to look like. So any collection of IKF, Meyer, fill in the blank for the next 3 platoon options the Red Sox have possibly at the major league level. And then I like Rafael at the end of it. It's I think he's going to do really well this year. I wouldn't even mind if he was at the 8 spot rather than hitting in the 9 hole like he did last year, because I enjoy the bat that he's swinging through this point of spring. I know it's still early. He did hit a solo shot today. I don't know. it's gonna be. I just don't. The second base conversation is killing me,
See,
dude.
to
Like,
me, I think this is all just a play. I think Marcelo Meyer is the opening day second baseman. That's why
I hope you're right. I
my
hope you're
lineup
right.
is pretty simple, but I am going to go heavily lefty because we're facing a righty. Yes, they can bring
Right.
a lefty out of the bullpen, but I'm going to go Roman and Duran 1 and 2. 3 would be
Okay.
Story. 4 will be Abreu. 5 will be Contreras. 6 will be Durbin. 7 is going to be Narvi. 7 will be Marcelo. 8 will be Narvi, and 9 will be Sedan.
I
Sedan's
like
9 in
that.
every single lineup I put out there. He is
Yeah.
Jackie Bradley Jr. 2.0. Leave him at
Yeah.
the 9 hole. He hits better
Yeah.
there. He hits better.
He does. He does hit better. He
It's
literally
so
does
much
hit
better
better.
there. He had a homer today. I'm pretty sure he was batting the
did.
9 hole. I don't
He
know for sure.
was in.
Was he 8 or 9 today, or was he closer because we? Oh, we. Jeez. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah,
Did
we
that
got.
say?
It got. Yeah,
It
it
got
got bad.
16
One,
runs
two.
on it. It got that bad. I stopped watching after the 4th inning.
He might have been batting 7.
Here I got it.
There was so many platoon
Um,
options today
he
that
was
I honestly.
batting. Oh, he was batting 7th because the lineup today was Roman, then Story, then Duran, then Contreras, then Abreu, then Durbin, then Rafaela, IKF, and Wong. That
Yeah,
was
I
the
didn't mean to
lineup
give
today.
you the lineup for today.
I
For
was about
my
to say,
starting
man, you
lineup, but
just replaced Wong with Narvi and basically made this lineup your own. But
I did not mean to do
that's
that.
funny. Well, I mean, it's hard with spring training because I think in all likelihood, again, who are they facing? Who was the pitcher for the Pirates? Was he a righty or lefty?
Righty.
He was a righty. Okay. So
Maldiniski.
why in the world? I don't understand where Marcelo's supposed to play tomorrow, right? Or Friday?
Yes,
Yes.
finally, yes, but it
Okay. So
couldn't
that's
ask for
that's the
better.
right-handed lineup. What are you doing versus lefties? Because I completely changed my lineup up.
Roman's still there, but I don't know if he's hitting leadoff.
Really?
No, he's definitely hitting
I was
leadoff.
about to say
Let
my
me see.
1 and 9 stay the same in every lineup I put out there, no matter what.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not making that same mistake. Roman's hitting 1.
Marcelo Meyer against lefties batting worst
Yeah, Marcelo's hitting 2. Willier's hitting 3. No, I'm just kidding.
with his .146 batting
Yeah.
average versus lefties.
So versus lefties, it'd be Roman and then Story. I wouldn't even mind seeing Duran hit against lefties, even though every time I think of that, I just think of the Max Fried at bat from last wild card.
That's why
Oh,
my
that's
lineup
so
gets
tough.
severely changed by what's going on here
Yeah,
with righties
so
and lefties.
Roman Story. I'll throw Contreras in the 3, I guess. This is tough off the top of the head. Sadon's definitely hitting 9. Narvi's going to be like around the 5 or 6. Roman, Story, Wilson. I can't say Durbin at 4. That's impossible. Right?
I can't
I-
see Durbin at 4.
I can't. And
Here.
it's tough to say because then like if I throw Willier at 4, like just like we mentioned, like that's a liability at 4.
I'm gonna
Can
throw
can
up
Roman
a,
just come back so this is easier?
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna throw up a projected lineup for us. That way we have you have kind of a baseline of who's out there. You can throw this up on the screen. Okay, there you go. Here's a projected lineup just to have some names in front of you.
Just fangraphs.com.
Not Fangraphs now. It's just
That's what I was trying to
well,
pull up.
it is Fangraphs lineup, but it's a graphic made by somebody.
I'm just giving it 2 seconds to actually update.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I'm not live. That's why. Okay, here we go. Roman Story, Duran, Wilson. Okay, okay. So this would be really good against a right-handed pitcher, in my opinion. But lefties, it'd be Roman Story, Wilson. Oh, that's tough.
I know it gets real hard with lefties.
Like 1, 2, and 3, I'm very confident in those
Yeah,
3.
not
Roman hitting
hard.
1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Roman, Story, and
2.
Contreras is a great start.
Great,
Past
right?
that.
It just, do we trust Wilyer Abreu to hit lefties in a cleanup spot? I don't know. Like I honestly want to say Narvi at 4 because I know the bat's not great, but it's righty lefty. He's a catcher. He has an eye for the plate and he has an eye for that box. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say Narvi. I'm gonna say Wilyer at 5. Huge difference from 4 to 5 there. Durbin can hit 6. Rafael is hitting 9. So, like, do I have to say IKF? I'm going to say IKF. Like, I guess I have to at this point. If Romy comes back, this is totally changing. This is
So-
totally changing.
I am going to put something out there that I do not want them to do. However, it is, in theory, the best lineup against lefties. Batting first is going to be Roman. Batting second is going to be Story. Batting third is going to be Contreras. Stay the same with you. Past that, though, I get a lot different. I'm keeping Willier at the 4 hole. My 1, my 4, and my 9 stay the same in every single lineup I have. I think Willier is our best power hitter, and you leave him at 4.
Yeah.
You leave him at 4.
Okay.
Even against lefties, let him fight through it. 1,
Fair enough.
4, and 9. Past that is where I get a little bit different and just kind of crazy. I'm gonna bat Narvi at 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna bat Durbin at 5. I'm gonna bat Narvi at 6. At 7, I'm going to bat Masataka Yoshida as our DH.
Okay.
Jarren Duran will bat in the 8 slot, and the 9 hole is Sedan. Second base will be Sedan Rafaela.
Oh, Lord.
I don't want it to happen because he should be in center field every game. But you cannot tell me, if our pitching is that good, you cannot tell me a better lineup is not putting IKF in there at this current time and not putting Marcelo against the lefty.
Can we just play Monasterio? How about that?
I'm fine with that. If you put Monasterio at 3rd and Durbin at 2nd, that's fine with me. But I cannot hit IKF at any. There's no position where I see him coming in besides a defensive replacement. That's all I see him coming in at this point. I don't see a position where he is helpful to this baseball team.
Yeah, I changed my answer. I changed my answer of IKF to Monasterio. I love
Monasterio. I think he can play really well. I mean, heck, last year he played 68 games. So let's say we're facing a lefty every 3rd day. That's about what it would be. Yeah. I don't mind that at all. I don't mind that at all.
I would
just out of curiosity. Monasterio had a 270 average, 318 OBP, and a 437 slug. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa last year, 262, 297, 334. So literally all 3 major batting stats are favored for Monasterio. It just so happens that IKF can play more positions and is a bigger name, I guess. I don't know. Monasterio is also younger. Not by much, but he's younger. I continue to question IKF. Just cut him. Just cut him.
He's going to go back with the Blue Jays. He's going to kill us.
Yeah, you're right. IL. Put him on the IL. Stick him there.
Yes.
Get him the Masataka Yoshida treatment. Just no point to do that, but I'm just so confused with that.
I think he has to be Monasterio. I'm looking at the Savant page, and he doesn't qualify for any of them.
No, I've pulled it up a couple times. It doesn't. It's all good, but it's just not qualified.
Yeah, dude, that's tough. The fact that Yoshida's still on this team just makes my head spin.
That's why I want to play him. If we have him, put him on the field for something.
And I can't believe I'm gonna say this out loud, but I want to go against him so bad. Like I want to.
I love him.
Yoshida so bad. I do. I like the running form drives me crazy. He's a professional athlete. He looks like a PE teacher that's like trying to rehab a knee injury, like on the job. Like for some reason, he bothers me. But the dude can put bat to ball. He can. He can absolutely do it. He was the only guy playing that has, I believe, he's the only guy playing that had a chance to make like the opening day roster or to be on the opening day roster in that game the Red Sox played Northeastern.
You don't think Christian Campbell can play?
Okay, wait, yes, Campbell did play. I was trying to, Campbell's probably to be involved in this conversation, and it's that conversation's going to make our lives.
I was going to put Christian
so
Campbell over IKF too, but I think at this point I can't say he's ready. There was a fastball in the middle that he just hit into the ground.
He's allergic to hitting the ball to the pull side, and you talked about it, and you were 100% right. And I went out there and I watched every at bat from like those first 2 or 3 games for the Red Sox, and everything was either right center or right over second base. Like it was either right up the middle or just to the spray side.
Doesn't
And
matter.
it was like a tomahawk swing. And like if
He
it works,
cannot fix it.
he did adjust. We did talk about this last 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when we talked about this. He fixed where the barrel of the bat or the knob of the bat is actually located in the top of his swing before he actually starts the step and turn over. But it's the same result. It's still early. Still early. I'm not jumping off the bus, but it is still the same as what we saw last year. It is a lot of tomahawk to right center between first and second. And if he can hit 300 like that, you know what? I won't say a word. But
He did for a month.
he did for a month. After going, what did he go? 0 for 22 or 0 for 32 in spring?
Yeah, but that was because he was trying to learn first base, and they didn't. No one told him.
Hey, I want you to play left, center, right, second, and first, and then possibly third base.
I really don't get them playing second, third, and left. I'm like, pick a position, man. You're just hurting a guy who's struggling already. Like, this is not worth it.
Welcome to the bigs, dude. You're ranked behind both Roman and Marcelo, but guess what? We're putting
you first.
Yeah, you'll be on the opening day roster. You'll be the youngest guy on the entire team, and we'll put you at second base. You have what, 15, 20 minutes reps? Let's go. You'll play second base on the biggest stage in your opening. Like, that's so
fun.
tough. And,
oh, by the way, it's not working out anymore. We're going to move you to first.
Yeah.
Get ready to get play there.
By the way, we're going to trade the guy we're paying more money than basically the entire roster combined for nothing. And we're going to be stuck in a hole. And you might have to take reps at first because he won't play first. Oh, okay. Sure, man. Yeah.
Yeah, great idea.
How old am I? I'm like 20 years old. I can't even drink yet. 22 years old, whatever it is.
I still can't believe that Roman was the third of the three to get called up. Out of sheer luck. Because Campbell was going to take the extension, and then Bregman got hurt. So Marcelo jumped. And Roman was literally, of the big three. I'm pretty sure Kyle Teal made his debut before Roman. If you would have told me last year that Teal, Campbell, and Marcelo would all have a big league game before Roman Anthony,
and
I would have. And Montgomery. I would have punched Craig Breslow in the face. I still want to.
Do you think it had anything? Do you think it was like a page out of Pittsburgh's book with Skeens?
No, because they brought him up. If they brought him up 2 weeks later, when they would have saved some money, whatever. I forget the ruling on what it exactly was, but
if they're brought up after a certain date, then it doesn't count as a full season, which means it doesn't go towards their years towards.
I get that, but there's also money involved with it of Major League more because he the year counted, and he would have had to wait until what, August, and to bring him up, maybe even later, to not count as a full season. So the year counted.
I guess so. About August. Yeah.
But there's different money calendars, and if you get brought up at a certain time and stay up, you get paid a certain aspect. / you can be better fit for arbitration. It didn't matter, obviously, because we just signed him on the extension. But there was some weird rule with that where it was like you get a draft pick or you get a rule up, something where they got something extra or didn't have to pay this or that if they brought him up. I think it was past June 27th. He was brought up on June 9th. So that's why I'm like, it couldn't have been a page out of Pittsburgh's book because they got past one threshold, but the threshold that was the first one. And again, I'm trying to remember this off the fly, and it was a lot of very intangible stats last year that people were throwing around about because we were all trying to figure out why Roman was in AAA and not in the big leagues. We were all trying to figure out
300.
Exactly.
Hitting 300.
We were all trying to figure out. So there was a bunch of things going on, but I'm pretty sure it was, I want to say May 20th when the other like draft pick rule came in or money rule came in. So they put him in the middle of two. So it just made no sense. Like either bring it up right after May 20th or bring him up after the 27th for certain, picks or money, financial reasons. Exactly. Because we know the Red Sox in the past 2 years, financial has been a big concern of theirs.
Yeah.
I understand for the people who want to come out here and say like, well, the Red Sox are spending a lot of money. The Red Sox, they are, but they're also the Boston Red Sox. And at the same time, they're spending the money in the wrong places, and they're not doing the right things. Cut Masataka Yoshida right now and go spend the money somewhere else. Pay him off. Get him out of here. You can't tell me Masataka is going to go play somewhere else and actually perform. You can't. Well, I don't know what they're scared of in cutting him. Like maybe putting him on the IL and they cut him in July. What do you get? A couple games out of him if he performs well? Maybe you get a trade. Maybe. They tried to shop him all over the place, and no one wanted him. No one. So
No one.
I don't know. I'm just confused with all of that. But I'm glad Roman's here to stay. I was talking to you about my fantasy baseball league. I drafted Roman Anthony last year for $1 in my keeper league. It goes up by $7 each year, so I'm going to have Roman Anthony for the next 10 years potentially. So that is very nice because I will, if he plays like Juan Soto usually gets drafted for around $60. So I'm getting Roman for the next 7 years. So that's amazing. I'm very excited about that because I'm gonna just keep bumping him up to $7. And when he's not gonna be, he's not even gonna be $30 until 3-4 seasons from now. So we're good there. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. I do, before we let everybody go and kind of hit on this last thing, I want to talk about Duran because pitching and Duran, I guess we can kind of hit both those because Duran is looking like his 2024 form.
Oh,
maybe even if you want to go 2023 form, also totally fine with saying that because people kind of forget how good he was doing in 2023 before he got injured. But I have the Baseball Savant comparisons kind of ready here for, well, I guess if it'll load, from 2025 versus 2024. And there is one huge thing, and I'm going to play it for you right now. And Houston, you know exactly what I'm showing, and I guarantee you're going to pick up, but just watch the video. Oh, it's not going to play, is it? No. Let me see if I can get it here. Well, it's not going to work, but I'll get it back. But how are you feeling about Jarren Duran? There's obviously there's a video that I got to show here.
How do I feel about Duran? I'm a lot closer to being how I was in 2024 in the early stages of 25. Like we talked about this a lot because the entire offseason was a lot of it. There was a lot of different huge key points that all of Red Sox Nation and the Red Sox organization and every beat writer in Boston and everyone that covered the game of baseball was talking about. And obviously the power bat, the one, if not two of them for the Red Sox, who cares, whatever. The Jarren Duran and Wilyer Abreu conversation was massive all offseason long. And we talked about it ad nauseum because it looked like the Red Sox were in a position to move one of those guys for a big name pitcher, whether it be Joe Ryan or fill in the blank here or there, because there were a lot of options. And it didn't happen. And a lot of the conversation was, well, what if like a team like the Dodgers tries to send you like a prospect and maybe a complimentary piece for someone like Jarren? Yeah, right. First of all, don't send anyone to the Dodgers. But the Dodgers were like a legitimate threat, it felt like, to go out there and acquire Jarren Duran. Like there was actual speculation. They weren't the only team. There was a bunch of teams that would love to have Jarren Duran on their team. But I remember saying this vividly. I remember it might have been one of our first live streams we did. If you send him to LA, where he doesn't have to do anything but be a legitimate complimentary piece because of the amount of talent on that lineup, or any championship team for that matter, whether it was Seattle or any other really, really potent offense that has good enough pitching to get to the Fall Classic, Jarren Duran could hit 220, but those hits he can deliver in those big moments, whether it's just a shot into the gap that turns a long single for a lot of guys into a double or even possibly a triple, is terrifying. And he is a perfect example of an X factor for any championship level team. I've believed that for now 2 years because of what we saw in 2024 and just like the waiting of last year. I know it's a long season. You hear us mention that a lot, but it's a long season. And you forget that certain guys even play in the first half of those seasons because they get hurt and they disappear, or whatever. They get traded and you forget they're a part of the team or however it may play out. But when Jarren Duran, like in that big game, in that scenario against Max Fried in the wild card, when he was up 3-0 or 3-1 in that, I think it was 3-0. He was up 3-0 in that AB, and Max Fried was able to work his way back and strike him out. It felt like it was like just a teeter-totter of like, this is either going to be the biggest swing of Duran's career, or this is going to go miserably because it's a lefty-lefty matchup and he's going against an ace on the other side. It feels like he's right there and the ice is about to break. And if it does, like we're looking at a damn near MVP season for Jarren Duran. He hit 25, 20 home runs. He could steal up to like 40 bags, if not more, if he's able to get on base and not strike out as much. It seems so easy when you say it like that. And I know it's baseball. It's the hardest sport in the world, but he's good at what he does. And if we get what we saw in 2024, this offense is going to be terrifying.
Well, I have the video up now. Let's
Okay. I was trying to give you enough time
Where
to get
is
that
it?
ready.
I have it. I literally put it in here. Hold on. Let's just make a new video asset. How about that?
The 2024 percentiles for batting run value, base running value, and fielding value are comical. 96th
All right, here we go.
percentile, 98th percentile, and 95th percentile.
Tell me what's different about these things. Tell me what is different about these swings here from Jarren Duran from 2025 to 2024 and 2026. There's an obvious difference here that we're watching. That leg kick. That leg kick. It seems to be back here. It seems to be back up in the perfect spot where he's going to get the extra power that we saw that got him the All-Star Game MVP. That to me is the biggest difference. He was trying to get inside on balls and be able to hit lefties better. Totally understand that. It didn't work. And he tried to fix it and go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. He said the leg kick is what I'm good at. I hit well with it. We're keeping it.
Keep doing it.
It's the same thing. If Christian Campbell can figure out how to hit 300 with his inside-out swing, I don't care. It works. It's baseball. Everybody has a different swing. If it works, that's what matters. That leg kick is back, and I really do think that Duran from the years past are back as well. But let's hit on pitching. Go ahead.
Really quick, just to close out the Duran topic. Do you agree with me by saying when I say that Duran is like the perfect X factor type of player? It may not be perfect, but he's a good example of an X factor.
To me, last year he had the biggest role, but the smallest at the same time. Because if he went, the Red Sox went. We heard that how many times last year? That if Jarren Duran played well, everybody played well, and the team went on. I think it's the same situation. He can just light a spark on him. And I think as much as people wanted to make out last year, Rafael Devers, he's the face of the team, he's this and that. The captains were Trevor Story, Alex Bregman, and Jarren Duran. Those were the captains. Those were the guy in the locker room speaking out. And I think for Duran, he was a lot more vocal in 2024 without Bregman. I'm kind of thinking, and again, he had a better year. So it's tough because when you're having a bad year in your own right and you're getting moved around the lineup, it's hard to be a captain, hard to be a team leader and a vocal when this 19-year-old just came up and is beating, like taking your spot basically in the leadoff hole. Like it's hard to be that way, but I think he'll come out this year and understand that like he's a voice and he is the voice of the clubhouse for the Red Sox. And that to me is just bigger than anything else combined. So I agree. I think he's the perfect X factor of like he's going to come in at big spots and perform well. It's just about, I think sometimes the moment gets a little big for him. We saw him in the playoffs the first time this year, and it did not go well. He looked nervous in left field. He looked nervous at the plate. Again, you mentioned the Max Fried at bat. It didn't look good. It did not look good. And so I'm like, if he can find a way to calm his nerves, of course, in 2024, he had different kind of nerves, which cost him 2 games. So there's just a lot of things that he needs to kind of like, almost calm down and just take a deep breath. Because if he can do that, he's going to light up the world again.
I 100% agree. If he just plays his game, and like you hear that a lot in all sports, especially like basketball and like the games that can be looked at as individual. Baseball is obviously not an individual sport, but when you are in the box, it gets to the point where it can be considered individual because you're facing, and I'm referencing Barry Bonds here, you're like the batter is going against the pitcher. He has 8 guys to bail him out if you hit it to them, right? Like that's how Barry looked at it. And if you want to argue about the greatest hitters of all time and you want to say Barry's not one of 2, I don't want to have the conversation. Like he's Barry Bonds. And when he says things like that, you have to take it as real as it can be, because it is. And I think if Jarren can do that and he can just play his brand of baseball and go out there and produce, we're not asking to hit like Luis Ariz numbers. We don't need the 340 average. Granted,
please don't hit like Luis Ariz. Please don't look like him.
But,
I understand he does that, but please do not do that.
Yeah, but like if you can just give Red Sox Nation a little bit of like that 280, that 285 average, he is going to be in the conversation for MVP, and that should not be crazy. No. The defense will be up.
He was ninth 2 years ago. 2 years ago, he was ninth and won the All-Star MVP. Like, who's to say that's gone away?
I 100% agree. He has sneaky pop. If you look at the spray chart from last year, 2024, whatever it may be, he can hit it to anywhere on the field. And playing in Fenway, we know how a fast hitter who can hit a hole can really benefit. And we saw that last year. He had an inside the park home run, and I swear to you, it was 4 seconds long. He rounded from home plate to home plate. It was 4 seconds. You don't see anyone run the bases the way Jarren Duran does. The way he corners the first base, and he's already like 3 strides to second. He's very good at that. Please get on base. Let him run. Let him run. Let him run. And I think that this is gonna be a good season for him. I do love the like Kings bat.
You got 4 outfielders, and they can all play every day.
Yes.
Sadan and Wilyer will play every day in the field unless they get a rest day. But every single day they are playing, they will be in the field. They're not going to be DH, which is the right choice. But you can DH Roman, you can DH Jarren, and I think that you can do that every single day. And in that case, Masataka Yoshida, see you on planet Jupiter. Like, there's no reason for you to be here anymore, man.
Go set records in AAA.
Exactly. Go get that perfect running form going in AAA, man. That's gonna look great. Go teach them how to run.
Yeah.
But
Jesus.
Yeah. I did want to mention this because we kind of passed by it. Did you see Wilyer Abreu break the bat today with his check swing?
I was waiting for the blue to like ring him up. I swear to you. You
That's
broke
the most
plane.
unfortunate. Well, they did. They did. They called it. Yes, they did. They called it a strike because his bat broke the plane. It was 1-1. It went to 1-2. I swear he got the strike call because it broke the plane.
That's crazy.
Let me go check because you can see the yeah, exactly. Can you tap? Wilyer Abreu's broken bat. First thing that pops up.
Playing from Jace's iPhone.
Oh, okay, Alexa. We don't need to hear that. Yeah, he checked his swing, but the bat went through, and they checked down to third, and. Yeah, there's the umpire saying, check swing, that's a strike.
I have no words.
It went to 0-1 to 0-2 because the bat broke the plane. His wrist never broke the plane, but the bat did because it broke. So, anyways.
There has to be a rule in place or something.
How many times is that going to happen, though?
What?
It didn't even hit the ball.
Let's just play the real great hypothetical game here. It is fall time.
World Series, bases loaded.
These games matter. Like you can paint it as much. Game 7, 2 outs, 3-2. Like you can do all that if you want. But like, let's just say the game matters, and it's not the fourth game of spring. And like you do check, and it's Wilyer didn't swing at that pitch. And it's not me or you being biased.
No, it's just unfortunate because the bat went. That's why you're always taught, though, you got to grab that bat. And when you go up to home plate, when they're touching that home plate, a lot of times it's not to look cool. It's to make sure that bat sounds right. Because you can tap it on the grass, you can tap it on the wood, you can tap everything. But there is a specific sound when you tap a wooden bat on a plate that you can hear if it is broken or not. Hence why they always tap bats that are corked on the home plate because you can hear a different sound. So that's why it's always taught. Right. But I guarantee you that bat was broken before he stepped up because Wilyer's a strong man. There is zero chance. Zero chance. People cannot break bats over their leg, much less do a check swing and have the torque rip the bat out.
Like, what if that was a full swing? Is that ball going to Mars? How hard did he swing?
What would have been funny is if the bat went with the ball, and so it's in the air and hits it twice in the air, and then it's the bat's coming down on the second baseman while he's trying to make the play. It's like that the one where the bat broke and hit the shortstop, and so he couldn't. Yes. Baseball's crazy. There's always some crazy things that happen, but. Okay, pitching. Let's run to that real quick. What was kind of the overarching theme? Obviously, Ranger Suarez pitched today. It didn't look great. I'll say that.
Connor Griffin was the response. Yeah.
I was about to say Connor Griffin looked good. I'm not going to say that Ranger looked terrible, but Connor Griffin looked great.
It was a meatball. He threw him a
threw some
breaking ball. It didn't break all the way. He got caught. He left it over the middle of the zone to a kid that looks like he might be a shortstop version of Mike Trout. I kind of enjoy saying that. The guy's 6'4", 220. He's playing
insane.
Shortstop. He's a monstrous human being, and the conversations we had about Roman last year are going to be just this exact same, except we're going to be saying Connor Griffin a whole lot. And I hope it produces winning in Pittsburgh, so Skeens doesn't have to throw, I don't know, 120 shutout innings to get a win. But, it is what it is. But about pitching. So Sean McAdam, we all know him. We all love him. He's a beat writer surrounding the Boston area. He threw out the idea and confirmed the fact that inside the Red Sox organization, they are definitely looking to acquire another left-handed pitcher to come out of the bullpen. As of right now, it looks like Tolle is going to be one of those guys that is added to the bullpen, at least to start the MLB season. Whether or not he progresses to the starting lineup, we have to wait and see, and how that all plays out. The breaking stuff is not all that great yet. The fastball's still good. It's fast. He can get it by guys.
It's
but
fast.
The changeup, yeah, it is fast.
The fastball's fast.
Yes, it is. Hey, listen, Rangers' fastball is about 92. So
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I'll take the 97. I'll take the 98. Scratch 100 when the adrenaline's a bit high. That's great. But whether or not he's going to be a starter, we don't know yet. So McAdam threw out 3 or 4 names of possible people that the Red Sox could go out and sign as lefty options to come out of the bullpen. I'll cut to the chase and tell you guys, if you did not read the article, because I did, there was only 4 names, and the only reason there was only 4 names is because if you go to the current free agency list and you filter by relief pitchers, there's only 4 lefties on the entire sheet, and there's only like 15 in total, and the others are obviously righties, but there's literally only like 4 left that are available and have the option to be signed via free agency that throw from the left-handed side. So the Red Sox, once again, are late to the party and don't have many options to go out there and acquire. And so Jace and I are on the same page about the one name we do enjoy the most.
Let's just pop this stat sheet right up here. It's a
pretty
obvious one.
Out of the names available, oh man,
yeah, Danny Coulomb is by far the guy that I want. I think we both want. This guy had a 2.30 ERA last year and a 1.16 WHIP, and he's not signed. I'm really shocked by it. That's why, when you brought it up, you sent the article to the chat, and I was like, wait, he's not signed? I fully thought he was with the Twins. I know we got traded this past year, but I thought he re-signed with them for money for whatever. No, this guy has the 96th percentile ERA, which is crazy in its own right. 78th percentile WHIP, 84th percentile in the homers, 90 percentile in the earned runs last year, and 72nd percentile in Ks per 9. And this guy is not signed and throws from the left-hand side. This makes zero sense. And if you are Craig Breslow, why are you not jumping on this? Why is he not already in Fort Myers?
So 110% I agree. And you're reading off numbers from 2025, and I'm here to tell you it gets even crazier, because if you go back, he didn't qualify in 24, but in 23 he had a legit 6-pitch mix. He didn't throw the changeup a whole lot, but he did have it. But he the Savant page is beautiful. The only things below league average are anything below 50th percentile. The off-speed run value, because he didn't throw a lot of the changeup, like I just mentioned. He did have a changeup, he did have a curveball and a sweeper that he did use a lot. The fastball velo's down, about the exact same as Ranger Suarez. If you have a mold where you want to go out there and sign these guys who are towering, 6'5", 6'6", 6'4", whatever, and they throw gas.
6'7".
6'7", all these guys are doing it. Every league's doing, or every organization's doing it. We want the biggest guys that can throw the absolute hardest, because doors. And I get it, but you also ran out of options, and you went out and signed Ranger Suarez. You gave him 5 years for 130. So the lack of fastball velocity can't be the big thing that is pushing you away from guys. And Danny is literally that. I know the fastball velocity is about the same, 91-ish, 93-ish, maybe on a top out, but look at some of the 2023 expected ERA 93rd percentile, 77th percentile in expected batting average, 96th percentile in average exit velocity, 94th percentile in whiff, 95th percentile in hard hit rate. The guy is a problem. And if you look at his ERA over the last 3 years, last year 2.3, 2024 2.1, in 2023 where all these great metrics came from, a 2.8. And yes, I know the lack of innings is a problem, but he's a relief guy. You're not looking for him to throw 140, 150 innings innings a year. He's not the closer in a Aroldis Chapman or a Mason Miller where you're bailing out yourself in your bullpen because you can throw him in maybe an out or two early and close out the game. Like, he's going out there, he can produce at a high level. He can be a legitimate relief arm coming out of the bullpen that can help this team. Because if you pull up the fan graphs, if you pull up the Red Sox lineup or whatever it may be, there's two guys in the bullpen right now that throw from the left-handed side, and Toley's not one of them. So you could possibly,
and one was your closer, so you're not going to be able to use him.
Is the closer for you. Also had to mention Sean McAdam did mention it in that article we've been citing from the beginning of this. Justin Wilson was the only other guy that was on the sheet of available free agents as a left-handed pitcher, but he is like, and this is a metric I'm making up, it seems like he's 90% to the way of just full-on retiring. It doesn't seem like he wants to come back to the major leagues unless someone calls him and says, we'll retire your generation or your next generation for the next, unless that happens,
we'll pay you $5 million to pitch for us for 1 year, $10 million.
Yeah, unless he gets ridiculously paid, it doesn't seem like Wilson's going to come back, unfortunately, because he was good last year for the Red Sox as a left-handed arm. But based off
I threw up another name, Beeks. Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah,
Jalen Beeks. That was the only other credible name that was really there. He spent a lot of time with Arizona.
Did Beeks play for us originally?
He might have been drafted by the Sox.
Because I swear he went from the Sox and we traded him to the Rays. If I'm right, this is elite ball knowledge, but I'm not sure.
I'll tell you in 1 second. Yes, you are 100% right. 2018 was his first season. He played for two teams. Those two teams were Boston and the Rays.
Yeah.
Played for Tampa until 2024, where then he was traded to Colorado, and then Arizona. He was then traded to Pittsburgh, and then from Pittsburgh he was.
Yeah, this guy's been from bad team to bad team to bad team.
Yeah, 2024 was hard for him. He went from Tampa, who was struggling, to Colorado, who's Colorado, and then he went to Pittsburgh, all in the same year. Posted a 0 WAR with Tampa. Then he was traded, 0.1 WAR with Colorado and a negative 0.1 WAR in Pittsburgh. So he literally had a 0 WAR for 2024. That's not great. But yeah, he was good-ish, not really. I think Danny was by far and away the better option here, especially in today's. Like in Arizona last year, he posted a 0.9 WAR, 3.7 ERA, and 61 games played.
The fact is he's not signed, too, so the market's not there. Give this guy $3 million. You gave Isaiah Kiner-Falefa $6.
Yeah, dude, I'd give Danny 6 to pitch for 1 year.
Bro, I would give him 7. We need a lefty.
At this point last year, the underlying metrics, some of them are good, some of them are just a bit under. The walks were a bit out of control. But again, the lack of innings is a problem. Last year, he only pitched in 43 innings. He did have a legit 5-pitch mix. The curveball went down in usage a whole lot, but he still relied on that cutter that he's throwing the vast majority of the time with that 4-seam, the sinker, and the sweeper. If he can get back and he get involved in a Red Sox pitching staff in this organization with the amount of great names and great talent that are currently in this system, he would work out so very well. Not only would he improve, but he could add to that pitch mix, get back to that 5 or 6 pitch mix, and be an absolute problem for anyone on the mound.
Just to end off the discussion, I'm going to do something real quick. I'm going to take a picture of our current bullpen, and I guarantee you there are 3 guys in here that I would replace Colombi with. I fully believe he could be better than some of these guys. Okay, so let me throw this in here. Great. Bang. Okay, so here are the right now bullpen options. First of all, Giovanni Moran is one that's not being talked about, and he is our only lefty.
I like him a lot.
He is our only lefty. I bring him up right away because he is a very good lefty. However, he is your only one. Aroldis Chapman, Garrett Whitlock, and Justin Slayton. If Slayton can pitch like he did in 2024, that is an elite 7-8-9 combo right there that may not be able to be matched across the league, and you have a lefty option, so let's say you're facing lefties in the 8th. We've already seen Cora do it last year. He'll pitch Slayton, then Chapman, then Whitlock, because Whitlock can save as well. You're putting Chapman against either the lefties or the best part of the lineup, whatever the decision is. Yep. Chapman, in the way that Cora manages the squad, is definitely, we're going to pitch Chapman against the lefties or the best pitch. He's a closer, but he's going to pitch against the best people. Past that, Greg Weissert has his ups and downs. Zach Kelly can be the same. Who's Ryan Watson and Tyler Samanigo? I've heard of Watson.
He's another lefty. He's the other lefty, but we don't know if he's going to make the opening day roster. He is an experiment right now down in the bullpen.
I can tell you this. I bet you Colin would be better than him.
I would agree.
I bet you he's a more sure fit on the roster than Tyler here. I have not. I'm going to be so honest. I follow the Red Sox very intently. This is the first time I've seen that guy's name. I've seen Watson. That's the first time I've seen that guy's name. He popped up on my screen. I was reading through. I was expecting to see, somebody else, not Tyler. This guy. So if Tyler works out, great. I'm not saying his last name. Samanigo, I guess. Samanigio. I don't know. Whatever it is. But I like Javon. Literally, if Weissert can pitch better, that's a very vague statement. If Weissert can just be better, but
he is so volatile.
Exactly.
He's like
he has some good things.
Duran.
Yes.
He is so volatile, and when he's good, the breaking stuff is gross. The cutter, the sweeper, the ability to throw the 95-ish mile per hour fastball by you, he can really put things together, and he can be good. But we also watched him last year. You and I both. I remember the conversations.
He ruined Peyton Toley's first start, and I will never forgive him for that. He ruined his first start in the major leagues. That was going to be a win against Paul Skeens, and Roman hit a home run, and then Greg Weissert came out here and decided, I am going to ruin this. Yeah, how can I come in and blow the party?
Literally the sweeper that never swept. I literally can see it coming out of his hand in that big old spin, and it looks like a frisbee. And then the frisbee stops. Moving and it just sits there,
right in the middle of the plate.
Oh, it's like watching the bomb fall. It's like, oh shoot, and then it's just a turn of the hips, and the ball's gone. It's like, oh, this is not what I want to watch. Yeah, I hate. Oh man,
well, it's
gonna be interesting. It's going to be really, really interesting. And I hope we're right again. I hope this is back-to-back weeks where we do, or back-to-back videos where we do this.
And we immediately sign.
Danny, I'd be so happy.
Listen, Craig Breslow, I know you're watching. I know you're not a big section 10 guy. I get it. Listen, we're here to tell you what to do.
We won't trash you until you don't do what we say.
We're going to trash you as soon as you don't sign Danny Cullum. Then as soon as we have a position where we can put in a lefty and Tyler Samanigo goes out there and blows it, I'm blaming Craig Breslow for not signing Danny.
Oh, man, dude.
Any final thoughts as we kind of end this?
We'll see you next Tuesday, same time, same place.
I'll start scheduling it for 3:15. Make sure we give Houston some time for traffic and my technical difficulties.
Yeah, I was like, I'll make it. And then I looked at my phone. It was like 3:36. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'll start scheduling it for 4:15.
But WBC in 8 days. So Roman will be reporting for that. That'll be very interesting.
I need that jersey being put on Fanatics, although Fanatics is kind of in a bad spot right now.
Fanatics is in a horrible spot, but I will say, in closing remarks, I did buy one.
The Cactus League hat. There it is.
And honestly, I do actually love it.
It's a nice hat.
It's so nice. The inside's different.
Oh, that's a sick hat. That is a sick hat.
And they got the 26. I do love it. That's the only thing I think I can root for from Fanatics right now because
yeah, that's fair.
They've done messed up a little bit.
they've done messed up, Aaron. That's what they did. Yeah. So nice. I think my final thought is I'm just excited that baseball's back. I'm really excited for competitive baseball in the WBC. Real quickly, I've heard different opinions. If you had the choice, would you want Roman to play in the WBC or would you rather him not?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We're on the same page here.
He hits leadoff on that lineup.
Well, everyone's like, I don't want him to get hurt. I want him to play competitive baseball for the Red Sox. I get that, but the WBC is one of the most fun events in baseball and will bring people to baseball, and Roman is going to be the star of that.
Hypothetically, to close this out, if Roman goes out there, and I'm not saying he's going to hit leadoff because that lineup is absurd from top to bottom.
Also, Tariq Skubal pitching one game is stupid.
Great Britain is getting a perfect game through 3
Yeah.
innings because
He's getting 3 innings, he's taken out.
I don't get it because there's a cap on the amount of pitches thrown. I do get it because it all comes back to Scott Boras, and Boras is like in his ear, and he's a little mouse. He's telling him, if
Hey, we got to get you $500 million next year.
Yeah,
the Dodgers are going to pay you. They've already told me.
Yeah, like, we can't get the $500 million. That means I can't get my 2%, which means, my kids, who I'm now working for, because everyone else has been retired generationally for the next 10 generations. Like, it is what it is. But Roman should absolutely play. I don't know. I don't care if he DHs. I don't care if he's in the field. You do whatever you want with him because he's just there to hit a moonshot and turn into like the next Mike Trout and be like Captain America for the next 10 WBCs for USA.
I love it. All right, well, that's all we got for you. WBC in 8 days. Spring training continues on. We get to watch more and more people pitch. And for now, though, guys, we appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time here on the stream.
Peace.